Hi, entrepreneurs. I hope you're doing well and you're blessed wherever you are. And I want to thank you so much for joining once again. And look at how time flies. We are at session 8, our almost end of this course, Women in Digital Business. I will want to remind you that this course is tailor-made for an entrepreneur like you or someone who wants to become an entrepreneur. And this course is just geared to leveling up our digital skills. And when we look back, we began this by just understanding the key concepts that surround the journey. We started with the little concepts and we have continuously built on each concept, each lesson. And here we are. And the goal of the Women in Digital Business is to make sure that an entrepreneur becomes transformative in their business by using digital tools, digital knowledge, digital innovation to make sure that they are competitive and they can compete with their counterparts across the globe. And indeed, we are a global village that in the comfort of my house, I can order from Amazon in whatever, in China, you name it, and I can get it in Nairobi City. That is how fast our world has grown. And as entrepreneurs, I cannot overemphasize that we need to be with it. We need to understand, even though we will onboard people who can work for us in the digital space, knowledge is power. When you know, then nobody can take advantage of you as as an entrepreneur in the digital space. You will be able to speak in one tone. You will be able to understand any need around the digital marketing and the online branding of your company. Once again, I am Wangoi Gitao, your lead trainer for this training. And last week, a recap of last week, we were looking at the flow of goods and services, the good and money on the e-commerce platforms. And you know that we say that e-commerce space can be the marketplace e-commerce or your own website. We also looked at the payment process, what happens, the process, how money flows on the buyer side and on the seller side, how the flow of money goes and the flow of goods until they are delivered. And today we are looking at the final stage in all this. Remember, we started with building platforms, even asking ourselves where we can build our platforms, and we explored that we should start and begin platforms that our customers are on. And now we are at tail end. Now they have even bought our products, and now it's time to ship the products. Yeah, and we're looking at shipping and delivering goods. And I would want to know how your experience has been as an entrepreneur or would it be entrepreneur. How has this journey been? Is it what you expected? Is the program what you expected? Have you been challenged? Have you learned? I would want to hear your feedback. And thank you for those who are up to with it, especially with the learning platform. Please, thank you and congratulations. For those who are lagging behind, I encourage you. Pull up your socks. We are at the end and we want to enjoy together and do that victory dance together as we celebrate the milestones that we have come as entrepreneurs. And isn't it good when you come to the end of something, you come to the end of something you had set up, a goal you had set for yourself. I know how satisfying this is, even for me as your trainer. It gives me very much satisfaction, great satisfaction, when I see you having come this long way, and even me having brought you all this. I just don't take it for granted. I'm really grateful. This is one of the things I am grateful for, that I can impact someone's life as an entrepreneur, as a trainer, and I'm also a business person. So you can imagine the joy when I am able to impact someone else's business positively. And shipping and delivering is what happens after the customer has ordered and they have paid. And you see, you can imagine a customer, just be the customer who's ordered something they are longing for a long time. They've saved up the money, they have paid for it, and they're now waiting. So what happens? I have ordered with a lot of anticipation. I'm looking forward to receiving my good. So what happens on the side of the entrepreneur? From the side of the entrepreneur, as the entrepreneur, the first thing you need to do when they have paid, you need to mark the item as purchased on your point of sale system. If you have a system CRM, mark it as purchased. Okay? Why? Because you need to update your inventory. Because if you don't mark it as purchased, one day you will realize that you don't have inventory because you never updated your inventory. As soon as someone buys something, tick it as purchased. And then the next thing is you create an invoice. This invoice will help you, and it is what the customer will receive at the end of it to verify that this was the order you placed and this is the money was charged. This is the taxation that went into. Remember, we pay taxes. And the third step is handle the order. Handle the order is now removing it from maybe your store or your where you put it and maybe packing it nicely. This is how you pack your things. If it's, you can imagine if they are bulky chairs, maybe you are in the furniture business, how do you handle your products? Maybe you need the cling films to cling it up, a lot of it. And you remember this should also be factored as you sell, so that you're able to recoup your money. It should be part of the sales handling. If they are big things, then you know how to handle things. The next thing is you ship the order. And there are various ways you can ship the order. You can use a delivery service, or you can use postal office, DHL, FedEx. There are so many. Wells Fargo's, they also do deliver. So check their matatu circles that do that. 2NK, I've used 2NK severally to have a product delivered to a customer or a loved one. And then the last thing is fulfill order, mark goods as sold. Remember, at the beginning, we marked as purchased, because it's not necessarily that you have marked the goods as purchased that they will be bought, that they will reach the owner. Remember that. That's why we mark them as purchased. But at the end, we fulfill the order and marked goods as sold. So that is the flow from your end. And then the next question is, who handles shipping? Remember, we looked at two broad ways how you can sell online. You can have your own website where people purchase. And if you are the owner, then you handle the shipping because the goods are at your end. If you have used a marketplace platform, let's say Jumia, you've used Amazon, they do the shipping for you, okay? There is an agreement before you even onboard such platforms as how that is handled. But mostly you handle the shipping as the entrepreneur from your end. And then there is the wrapping, okay? There is how you package anything, yeah? If you're selling chairs, of course, they are wrapped with cling film. Let me just continue using the furniture example. If it's a table, you wrap it nicely. Make sure you paddle it at the corners to avoid breakages. If your products are fragile, that needs to be indicated if you're using a shipping company or a delivery company. So you need to wrap those goods. Wrap them up to avoid damage or interference. The next thing is you need to pack them. Packing them is just putting them together. Put it in whatever. Is it a box? Is it a carrier bag? How do you pack? And then the last thing is you load the package. If you have I use Pickup Mtaani to deliver my products to my customers. And in my line of business, if you are outside my zone, I allow you to pay for delivery because my profit margins are small to handle packages that are going far. But if you're within my vicinity, then I can deliver for you for free. And then because of that extra cost, you have to be to know how to handle that you may create policies for your business that will help you cushion yourself so that you don't go at losses, or the customers might be on your neck. Imagine if they are expecting you to pay for their shipment. You need to have, and that's what I'm coming back to every time, have a shipping and handling policy at this point. Let them know within Nairobi, if you're in Nairobi, then I can drop maybe at this fee, or I can deliver for free, especially if it's your zone. But outside Nairobi, then tell them this is the shipping company I use, and you will pay them separately from the organization. So how you handle that will help your business, especially the cost part. The other thing, it will help the customer know that they incur that extra cost, because you don't want it to come back to you that I bought from you and you still want to ask me more money. No, let that shipping and handling be very clear, because brick and mortar store, you go there yourself. But now when we are doing online transactions, we are not seeing each other, but you expect your goods to reach you. So you need to explain how they reach you. If they need to pay a fee, should be a reasonable fee. And there are so many companies that are handling deliveries that are reasonable, especially within maybe Nairobi, that is very much available. And even outside Nairobi, I know you can deliver packages to Kisumu, to Nyeri at a very small fee. So those are the steps of now. We are taking the package we are shipping the package to the person. And these are the things you need to consider. The handling costs. As I was saying, the wrapping material, make sure it's part of the cost of the product. Yeah, to avoid you saying, I'm not making any money. It's very easy in business not to make money, yet you're moving volumes of goods. So choose a handling, a service, a delivery service that has reasonable cost. The materials, the packaging, factor them as your cost of production. Okay. The next thing, you need to contact the delivery service or the logistics service that you use. Personally, I use Pickup Mtaani, and I just go to their nearest drop and pickup point, and I just give my details, and I'm alerted. I have an app for Pickup Mtaani. So when you're enlisting a delivery service, you need to also accept their terms and conditions. They also have their own terms and conditions, yeah, to protect themselves. So you need to read them and see that you're okay with them, so that you do not get in trouble if something happens with you. Choose a trusted one that has good reviews, okay? So that's a shipping provider, okay? Create shipping policies to protect yourself. Create shipping policies to protect yourself. Because if you're using a third party, for instance, I use Pickup Mtaani. I have created a relationship with them. I have experienced even them bringing me goods as a customer, and I enjoy. It's a seamless, you can track your goods and service. So also create shipping policies that will protect you. The other big thing in this business, online business, is managing returns and exchanges. As an entrepreneur, we just hope it never happens to us. Yeah, that goods are damaged, or goods did not arrive, or a problematic customer happens to be our customer now. This is what we dread, but we also need to be ready for scenarios where we have to receive returned merchandise when they have already paid. Remember, most countries have policies and regulations that guarantee that a customer can return a product. Okay? So it is up to you to check with our country, what are the policies? Do we have that policy in place? Yeah? So you need to have a return policy should that arise. Should a dispute arise, some customers will say, this is not what I wanted, because we know what I saw and what I received. And in Kenya, last year, there was this amendment bill passed by Kakamega Women Rep. And she's saying that she wants online shoppers to be able to return damaged goods, substandard goods, or goods that were propagated a certain way and they never met expectations. She wants to pass this bill, the Consumer Protection Bill 2023, and it's a good bill because it is aimed at discouraging those shoddy and those manipulative people in this arena, this online business. There are people who are just out to just defraud people. So she is bringing that bill to protect the consumer. But on the other hand, when we look at the fiscal projections of our country, the parliament was saying, the budget parliamentary group was saying that the country, or the revenue will be interfered with, the VAT, the VAT will be interfered with in terms of millions of money. They are worried that if this law is passed to protect the consumer, then if they return, the physical projection of returned goods, it's in hundreds of millions. I think 121 million in the first year of enacting this bill. So it's a good bill. I advocate for such a bill. However, you feel like it would come to encourage those stubborn clients. But remember, if you're a good business person and you're not selling hot air, and you're not selling good brand online but shoddy services or products, then you have nothing to worry about. So you need to come up with a policy on return and exchanges. Maybe you can agree to exchanging colors, sizes, but maybe you cannot accept returning, and especially if the error is not on you, it is on the customer. Then maybe you need to also create a policy that says the shipping cost is on the customer. But if the goods are damaged, or if the goods were mishandled and broke, then you need also to know that you will handle the shipping cost. And I said earlier that social media is a double-edged sword. Yeah, it is giving us so much mileage, and we can reach clients all over the world. But if you're not careful, I know of businesses that I think have been brought on their knees because of just onboarding substandard goods and the returns, and they need to, the litigations. Remember, a client has the right to sue you if you violate their rights, especially if you don't deliver what they paid for. Because remember, it's value for money. If you don't give value for money, then you will open yourself to be litigated. And the other thing I've noticed with even delivery and shipping and everything, it depends with what you're buying. I've had 2 cases where I was not asked to pay the delivery fee. I purchased as a customer, I think Winner Perfumes, a very good online shop, Winner Perfumes, and they never asked me. But I think it's because it was a high value good. Yeah, you're chucking some good money, so they don't ask you to pay. They bring you to the doorstep, and then you pay on receiving. When you establish that this is what you ordered, that's when you pay. And I like that as a customer. But how is it as an entrepreneur? Yeah, because this space, you don't know, you really don't know. The other brand that I felt like they also don't charge a shipping fee, delivery fee, is Oraimo. Oraimo, they are an innovation technology company, and I once ordered with them, and I was not charged the delivery fee. They brought at my doorstep, and I only paid when I received. Yeah. And this is so encouraging when you can receive what you paid for, and it's what you paid for. Yeah. And it just encourages me. And this is what brings us to the next topic of digital ethics and trust and security. With Oraimo, they trusted that I would pay once I received the goods. They trusted that. Yeah. They sent their rider to bring that product to me. I just went online, I filled my details, a location, I received a phone call, and I received my goods. The same with Winner Perfumes. I just ordered online. I didn't pay until I received the goods. This means I trusted those two brands. Okay? I trusted these two brands enough that they would bring me the right product. And these entrepreneurs trusted me that I would not waste their time, their rider, and I would pay. Yeah. So this is a trust business. Online business is purely a trust business. If you want to grow on this online platform, you need to be trustworthy. Can consumers trust you? What is the perception you've given us online? Can we trust you? Okay. And remember, the client is giving a lot of information. The client is giving you their physical location. They're giving you their number. Some are even using their debit cards. They're giving so much information, ID cards, anything that is required for me to make a purchase. And therefore, on the side of the entrepreneur, the customer needs to trust you. I know this is a business where everyone is not trusting the other, the entrepreneur and the consumer, but trust is the name of this game. You cannot shop online if you don't trust. And that's why you'll hear people, oh, I don't shop online, especially if you encountered scammers. I have encountered a scammer, but that doesn't diminish my trust in some brands, because I need to trust the brand that I'm buying from. And how do I build the trust? Yeah. The first thing, you have to give accurate information. If you give accurate information, you give where you are, they have seen your website, they have seen your story, they know your motivation, probably they have seen people speak about your business. When you give accurate information, it helps a customer trust you. So it is the burden of the entrepreneur to have the clients trust them. It's not the customer. It is you as an entrepreneur wanting to onboard me. You need to make me trust you. And giving information, actually, I love information. I love to read so much before I purchase. I want to read reviews. I want to read testimonials. I want to read the founder stories. I'm that weird. I want to read what people have said about your product or your brand. I want to read the good and the bad before I make a decision. So accurate information will help your brand. The next thing is being relevant. Yeah. Don't post things that are not relevant to what you're selling online. Yeah. If you're selling clothes, be relevant. Don't give me stories for things that are not what I want from you. The next thing is be informative. Give as much information as possible. Give as much information as possible. And the other thing is there are some fields when you venture in, there are disclosures, and you should give more information. Let's say you're handling maybe what can cause you to give mandatory closure. There are the products that maybe have ingredients. You should give all the ingredients. Like there are things you should say. Let's talk about maybe cigarettes. You remember that caffeine print they were forced to write at the bottom of every advert they do, that smoking is harmful. Yeah, so the disclosure, if something requires full mandatory disclosure, please give full mandatory disclosure. If it's alcohol, say too much of it will, yes, give full disclosure. That way you're building trust. I know even as I consume 5 bottles, I might not be able to drive. And we've seen these campaigns go on around our nation. Okay. The other way people will trust you is you build brand visibility. Let's see your brand every day. Let's see you create awareness of what you sell, why you sell, what you're passionate about, what you're doing. Let's see you out there. And if we see how you interact with people, how you handle disputes, we will begin to trust you. It's very hard for a new entry in the market to demand people to trust them in a short time. No, we need to see you. Actually, I tell customers, I tell entrepreneurs and small business enterprises owner, building an online brand does not take 2 months. I go to an organization, probably I'm consulting for you, and in the third month, you want me to show you the sales. No, you have to invest at least, even if it's SEO, at least 6 months of building the keywords that might make your business visible online. So brand visibility, brand credibility is something, and brand equity, they are things that come with time. So continue putting your work out there, continue having people speak well, make sure you're making friends. Customer experience is equal to the point that they can speak for you. Have them speak for you, advocate for you, and trust you me. This will make your customers, or even people who do not know, potential customers, trust you. The other thing is use trusted payment providers. And I've realized with payment providers, they also have a duty to their customers. So they are things they will put in place to ensure that you're a trustworthy brand. So as much as you're looking for these trusted payment providers, they also check you out also as an entrepreneur to see that you are who you say you are. And these are some of the ways you can build trust. Yeah, because digital space, we agree, is a good space, but it's also marred with a lot of people who are trying to make a quick buck selling air, and hot air for that matter. The next thing, we spoke about the payment providers, and we spoke about choosing them. Okay, you should choose one in your region. You should choose one that, if you need the money, you can access the money. So they also, on their end, require information from you, and they need you to put your address, they need to see your website and the policies. They need a lot of information from you. And for you to onboard these payment providers, you need to give them your legal address, legal documents. They will ask for legal documents, and these are their user agreement, privacy policy, your terms and conditions. And this, and the disclosure, we spoke about disclosure, other mandatory disclosure information. And this comes with people who need licenses, let's say a doctor who will need to show that they are a licensed doctor, okay? So if they want to practice, a lawyer, and there are professions when you want to onboard a payment provider, if you claim to be a doctor, please show me your license, such things. So these payment providers are also looking out for their own consumers so that they don't onboard someone who is not a business. And these things are verifiable. The other information that as you onboard this last tail end, they would need from you, and they will need your identity. The payment providers, these people you onboard, banks, M-Pesa, they need to know your identity, your birth identity. No, it's imagine we give ourselves out there. They will need your ID, your passport number, okay? They will need your bank information. And why would they need this sensitive information? Is to make sure that you're not wanted, the most wanted criminal, for cyber crimes. They want to check that you're who you say you are, and you've not been involved in maybe money laundering, or you're not wanted, or you see your bank account information can give a lot of information also about you, whether you're to be trusted or not, okay? And then your terms and conditions, your return policies, shipping and handling. And at this point, when it comes to privacy, return, coming up with a return policy, your privacy policy, shipping and handling policies, this is where you need to onboard a lawyer. And I've spoken about onboarding a lawyer at some point when we were discussing more so on policies. And a lawyer is good because they're able to look at all these policies and compare them to what your nation or your country or your region would want, because these policies differ from nation to nation, okay? So if you cannot onboard a lawyer, lawyers are expensive. You can, they are on WIDB platform. They've extended the latitude to give you some of the websites where you can download a template, a good template, and you can adjust it to suit your region, okay? And if at some point you really need a lawyer, let them find that you have done some of the work with the templates. Even Google has a template for these policies, for your terms and conditions, all this. And don't be ignorant, because to onboard some of these platforms, you will need to have all these things in place. And if you're very good, you don't need to onboard a lawyer. You just need to know your stuff very well. Yes, know your stuff very well and put it together. And because tumesoma Kenyans, we have read. We are well read, yeah? Learned friends. If you're good and confident and you do good research and compare with other practices in your industry, then you're good to go, okay? And with that, we are at the tail end of our 6 weeks of digitalization, digital transformation. Yes, we are at the tail of digitalization now, because we are no longer on the basic or on the first platform. Now we are at digitalization. We are aiming to revolutionize every area and aspect of our business. And now we are looking at transformation. What a journey. We give God all the glory. Yes, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful you came this far. And if you have any question, we meet on Saturday to finalize. We meet on Saturday to finalize and see what's next after these 6 weeks. There is more. There is more. This is not the end. If you want to explore other things on still WIDB, you will understand the next steps of your journey here. And I know as an entrepreneur, you have all the information you need. I continue to send you more materials as we go forward. I continue to send you more materials on the WhatsApp platform. And anything that is of interest to a digital, to an entrepreneur, I will be able to send there. So I'm looking forward to finalizing on Saturday with what's next. And I hope you are learning and you are deriving all the value there is from this course. Let me know what your experience has been like. Yeah, I'm sure we were not able to do live because my cohort, maybe a disclaimer, my cohort is just full of entrepreneurs, people with crazy schedules, but I understand them, and that's why I opted to do this form of live. And there is no much interaction, but we do it at the WhatsApp platform. So if I know people sidebar me, I don't know why they don't just write all that they want to write on the page, but mostly I think the quiet, private people want to side chat me and ask me questions. I appreciate every question, and I know we will walk. Those ones who are still on their way coming, I encourage you, don't get discouraged. Rome was not built in a day. Just make sure that if it's a priority, get done with it. And we see you on Saturday. And with that, we come to our end of this session, and I'm really grateful. So we see you on the final what's next. That is a question we'll be asking. What next for you as an entrepreneur or a would-be entrepreneur? Until then, see you.